Hi, everyone. This is a little talk on chiaroscuro, and that's how you pronounce it, chiaroscuro. So we are using chiaroscuro, the use of light and dark, to establish the illusion of volume on the two-dimensional picture plane in exercise 5. And I was asked by several of you when we're going to get into this because you're painting in Photoshop, and Photoshop is easier to establish this kind of painting than Illustrator, where it's flatter. You use vector shapes. So in Photoshop, we can very easily simulate the use of light and dark by painting using pixels and layering. So I'm going to select these images and bring them up in preview here so that you can see. First of all, let me give you a little bit of a history of chiaroscuro. That's how you pronounce it. It was developed and perfected in the Renaissance in Europe when the use of grayscale all the way from white to black became prevalent. Many artists have used chiaroscuro since the Renaissance. This is a painting of drapery done in the Renaissance in Italy, I think. And you can see that the folds are very realistically depicted through the use, this is a drawing, probably Conte, through the use of light and dark, the application of light and dark. So this is a painting by Magritte, who was a surrealist, a French surrealist, and you can see here that there's a highlight, the beginning of the light in areas, the shadow. Another artist in LA who painted into emulsion on canvas, so he was really a photographer. He's deceased. His name was Willie Middlebrook, and he used light and dark to show volume on canvas. So I'm going to go through, this is also Willie Middlebrook, different artists who have used different materials, but all using the use of light and dark to show space. This is a woman named Bernice Abbott, and she was a photographer in the 20th century in New York City. So not always is it simply drawing and paintings. Sculptors can also use chiaroscuro to define their volumes. This is my friend John Jebb, a British sculptor, and he actually carves marble, stone. And he depends very much on the way the light hits the surface and creates form. The Getty Museum, in our perception of the Getty and how we see it, in other words, we depend on how we perceive the volumes through light and dark, because it's all built in white travertine. So if we weren't able to see the volumes that Richard Meyer designed in light and dark, we wouldn't be perceiving the building at all. So as you go around the city, maybe you can look with a new eye at light and dark. Just to quickly recap, the artists of the Renaissance developed this method. And I'll go through a few of them who were really masters at the use of chiaroscuro. This is Da Vinci, Leonardo da Vinci, the Virgin and Child with St. Anne and John the Baptist. So he was one of the most famous users of the method of chiaroscuro. This is Caravaggio, the painter Caravaggio, also a late Renaissance artist, incredible painter. And notice how he uses light and dark to, on the two-dimensional picture plane, which is what you're doing, to show volume in space. In this case, it's figurative. The painting is figurative. Also Caravaggio, this is my last slide. And this is what you're doing. You're going to be painting fruit using different light and dark, in other words, values, gray values of the same color. So if you're painting with red, you would use light and dark values of that color. Light values of a color are called tints, and darker values of the color are called shades. So in order to make a light value of a color using Adobe programs, you just go to the color palette and in percentages, diminish the percentage of the number by the same amount. If you want to make a shade of a color, that's the dark values, you just simply add black. So in a separate video, I'll go into that. Okay, that's my little lecture on chiaroscuro. Thank you.